Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sean Theodore, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the importance of keeping our faith even when things seem to look so impossible to us. Things that you cannot even begin to describe in the natural realm because things look so hopeless to you. And sometimes you just want to throw in the towel. You get despondent and you get like you're looking at things and you're saying, when will things ever change? You're wondering if, you're on the right path. But God has a plan for your life. He wants you to believe him, because when he makes a promise, all the promises of God in him are yea, and in him amen, unto the glory of God by us. That's in 2 Corinthians 1:20. What does that mean? Every time God makes a promise, he doesn't change his mind. What he's looking for us to do is keep on holding on to our faith, even when things look really hopeless. People might even think you look crazy if you're going to continue to believe for something. Sometimes he gives you a dream, and those dreams may look, to you, it may look so impossible. But I want to talk about somebody in the Bible. His name was Noah. It never rained on the earth, and the Lord instructed Noah to build this huge, massive ark out of gopher wood. And he said he was going to flood the earth, and that he was going to flood it, and it was going to be something that was going to be judgment upon the earth because of all the evil that was going on. And Noah was sitting there saying, wow, I have to build an ark here? Just think about that instruction, what Noah had to do. I want to go into the book of Hebrews today. I want to read Hebrews chapter 11, and I want to read verse 7. And I believe today that God has a word for you. So I'm going to be going into the word of God, and I'm going to read out of Hebrews chapter 11, verse 7. It says, by faith Noah, being warned of God of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world and became heir of righteousness, which is by faith. So Noah was warned of God about what was going to happen on the earth, and he told them to build that ark. And he told them to build it even though that he never ever saw rain. So just because we don't see it doesn't mean God isn't going to do it eventually in the future. He's a God of timing. He does things on his timing, at his perfect time, and God is a God of timing. But just think about this request. Sometimes God's going to ask you to do things that make no sense. It never rained. I'm going to build an ark. The earth is going to be flooded. And this is crazy, right? You have to have crazy faith sometimes to believe God for something. You get an evil doctor's report that says you only got 6 months to live, or you get an evil doctor's report saying you got this infirmity and you have to be on medication for the rest of your life. And you have to believe God no matter what. I encourage you to believe God, even when things look hopeless, even when things look impossible, even when things go against the natural realm. God is looking for you to see into the supernatural. Just like Noah did. He started building the ark. He started being obedient. And it took him approximately 100 years to build this ark. Just think about all the years that went by. All the people that were laughing, looking at him. Look at you building this boat every day. How hilarious. What are you doing? This is foolish. People looked at him as foolish. Sometimes people are going to look at you thinking that you're foolish. But you know what? You've got to step up in faith and keep on believing God, because your trial is not going to go on in perpetuity. But you know what? God will eventually end that trial, end that tribulation in your life. And you may be going through some difficulties right now. I understand that you may be going through some hardships. I understand that you can get apoplectic at times and frustrated and upset about things. But I want to encourage you today to rise up, stand up, believe God, quote his word every day. Because look at it, it says, Noah, when the Lord warned him, he moved with fear. He reverenced God. He respected God. He knew that this was a situation that was going to be, devastating on the earth, because he believed God. He moved. And it says he prepared. So what do we do when we have crazy faith? We prepare. We prepare even when we don't see it happen. He started building the boat even though he didn't see it happening. If you are believing for something, you keep on preparing for it. You keep on preparing for the blessings to come. If you're looking to get into a new home and you're believing for God to give you a beautiful home of your own, start preparing for it. You need to have expectancy, but you have to have preparation. What you need to do is you need to maybe move something, put something in a box, get ready. Because you know what? God is going to do something. God's going to do something spectacular in your life. He may give you a loan, a mortgage loan that has such a low interest rate, and even though your credit isn't great, God is able. I've seen it happen many times. God is able to do it. Or maybe he'll make a way for you to have a place where you can rent to own. I don't know. The Lord has a purpose and a plan for your life. He knows how to do it. Maybe you're looking for a job. I encourage you to prepare. And this job is a very difficult one. It's hard to maybe be a doctor or a lawyer or a psychologist or whatever it is that you want to get into. You know what? Do the necessary preparation. Go into a field, study, learn, prepare, and then God will do the rest. You do your part, God will do his part. And when things look impossible, you've got to be like Noah. You got to keep building the ark. When you're feeling sick, you got to keep building the ark. How do you do it? You got to keep claiming the victory. Because you know what? You got to have faith that believes even when everything in the natural is saying no, God is saying yes. Every day Noah got up and it didn't rain. And what did he do? He may felt discouraged from time to time. I wonder what his wife was thinking. I wonder what his children were thinking. Only 8 souls were saved. Noah, his wife, and his 3 sons and their 3 wives. That's 8 people on the earth. Everybody else that didn't get into the ark, they perished when the rains came. But the rains did come. Part of having crazy faith is to wait on God for the duration of it. I mean, he had to wait 100 years before the rain came. God sometimes doesn't come immediately. He comes on his timetable. But you know what? When God promises something, he always brings it to fruition in your life. He's a God who's able to do it. So don't capitulate. Don't try to do things on your own accord. Don't try to make things happen, because it's incontrovertible that God will open the door up in his timing and he will make a way for you. It's amazing what God can do in your life if you get in his word. Noah, he kept on building. They kept on laughing. They kept on mocking. He kept on going. He didn't give up. He didn't quit. He didn't say, Lord, you know what? And I'm sure Noah at times, he had his questions. He had his doubts. I'm sure he said, did I hear you right, Lord? I'm sure there's times when Noah wondered if he heard the Lord properly. But you know what? He didn't stop. Even when you get those doubts, even when you get these negative things going in your mind, or you feel something negative, you know what? You've got to keep on rolling. You got to keep on going. It's a day-by-day battle. It's a battle for your faith. You've got to keep on believing for impossible things. Behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is anything too hard for me? Jeremiah 32:27. There's nothing too hard for God. And you know what happened? It never rained before. God said it would rain. God said he would flood it. And all of a sudden, the rain started coming. God warned Noah, get all the animals by 2 and get them in the boat. Get them in this ark. Now, I went to the ark in Kentucky a couple of years back, and it's 3 stories high. It's massive. It's the size of 3 football fields. It's a huge ark, and I went in there, and once I walked through and I had a chance to see how everything was constructed, I realized that, yes, you could fit 2 animals in here. And he took the small ones. He didn't take the big and grown animals. He took the little ones and he brought them in the ark. And the man had dominion over the animals, so they obeyed Noah's command. So they went into the ark. And once the rain started coming, people started wondering what's going on. It started falling, and it was a downpour, and it flooded everything. And then the people were like looking at Noah and realizing that he knew what he was doing, that God showed up. And even though he looked foolish, even though people laughed at him, you may look foolish believing for something. People may be laughing at you. People may mock you. People may throw water on your dreams or try to put the fire out. I encourage you to keep believing like Noah did, because the rain is coming. Due season is coming. Let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season ye shall reap if you faint not. Due season is on the horizon for your life. Never give up on God. Never give up on your dreams. If he made a promise, he said he had not failed one word of his good promise. The only thing that holds things back is our unbelief. It's so important that we continue to believe God. It's so important that we continue to meditate on his word and on his promises. It's so important that we keep on listening to the Spirit of God. It is so important that we hear messages that charge up our faith. God is looking for you to have some crazy faith. When you have great faith, You can believe God for anything. You can believe God for any kind of miracle. Remember, Abraham believed God for a child, and he was 100 years old before he had the child. He was 98 years old, still believing God. He never gave up on the promise of God. Never let go. Never quit. Never let up. Keep on waiting on God, because just like Noah, he's going to bless you exponentially in your life. You're going to see great and mighty things that you know not. Jeremiah 33 verse 3, call upon him and he will bless you. If you enjoyed this devotional today, I encourage you to hit subscribe below, and may God bless you. You have a wonderful day.